A gathering of menaces drove by Sun Myung-hwan from Hyosun High School assault individual understudy Lee Jin-soo. Jin-soo tumbles off the housetop and is hospitalized. His dad, Lee Byung-chan, a science instructor from Hyosun High, acknowledges Jin-soo has created zombie-like way of behaving. Sometime later in Hyosun High, one of the domineering jerks, Kim Hyun-ju, is nibbled by a contaminated hamster in the science lab. Byung-chan sees this and locks Hyun-ju inside the lab. However, she escapes and implodes in class 2 to 5.5 zombie-like state. Hyun-ju is taken to the school facility, where she unexpectedly nibbles the school's attendant. A rescue vehicle takes Hyun-ju to the emergency clinic. The medical caretaker changes into a zombie and assaults a few understudies, who all get tainted and begin a flare-up inside the school. Understudies and cherished companions Nam On-jo and Lee Chung-san are in the cafeteria where more tainted understudies advance inside and frenzy breaks out. On-jo and Chung-san escape the cafeteria and take shelter in class 2 to 5 with their enduring schoolmates, including class president Choi Namra, previous delinquent Lee Soo-hyuk, Chung-san's dearest companion Han Kyung-soo, On-jo's dearest companion Yoon Ah-sak, the entitled Lee Na-yeon, Oh Jun-young, Kim Ji-min, Seo Hyo-ryung, Yang Dae-soo, Jang Woo-jin, and Kim Min-ji. Not long later, a contaminated educator advances into the homeroom and out of nowhere changes into a zombie and chomps Minute G, inciting different understudies to escape and battle their direction into another study hall. Isaac, in any case, becomes contaminated en route and is tossed through the window, to On-jo's hopelessness. At the point when zombies attempt to break in, the understudies utilize a fire hose to descend to the telecom room in light of the fact that their English educator, Ms. Park, is there. In the meantime, Yoon Wee-nam, a harasser in Myung-hwan's cohort, conceals in the cafeteria's kitchen with another 2 understudies and a lunch woman. The school's aero-based weaponry group, including Woo-jin's sister Jang Hari and her co-competitor Young Min-jae, show up and see what is going on at school. Senior understudies Yoo Jun-sung and Park Mi-jin are caught in a bathroom with tainted understudy Lee Ha-lim, however are saved by Hari and Min-jae. At the clinic, Hyun-ju taints a few others, which prompts the infection bit by bit spreading all through Hyosun. In the telecom room, a zombie shows up external the window, causing Kyung-soo to be scratched on his wrist. Na-yeon blames him for being contaminated and they detach him for their well-being. After they segregate Kyung-soo in a corner room, Na-yeon claims to apologize yet covertly puts zombie blood on a tissue and applies it to his injury, causing Kyung-soo to change and go after the others, who toss him through the window. As the understudies censure Na-yeon for killing Kyung-soo, Na-yeon leaves the room, with a concerned Ms. Park rapidly following her. Wee-nam alone escapes from the kitchen after he pushes the others to the zombies. Hyosun's circumstance causes the public authority to force military regulation and they start to empty survivors. Chung-san's mom goes to the school, worried for Chung-san's well-being. On-jo's fireman father Nam So-ju and his group are concealing in an administration office with Hyosun's assemblywoman Park Yoon-hee and her partners. Somewhere else, Park Hee-soo brings forth a child in a jungle gym public washroom slow down and at first forsakes it prior to getting back to recover it after barely staying away from death from a fender bender. After police criminal investigator Song Jae captures the outlaw Byung-chan and brings him into care for making the infection, Byung-chan describes that he was irritated at the school's indifference with regards to the domineering jerks who regularly mishandled his child. He made an infection trying to make his child more grounded, just to see his child form into a zombie. A zombie crowd goes after the police headquarters, and Byung-chan is chomped. Utilizing his last minutes, Byung-chan tells Jake that his PC is in the school science lab with the response to destroy the infection and he remains behind to hinder the swarm. Subsequent to getting the essential data, Jake and his soul-enduring junior partner Jong-ho-chul get away. In the meantime, Soo-hyuk and Chung-san take a telephone in a room, however are isolated by zombies. Soo-hyuk returns alone to the telecom room with the telephone. Chung-san conceals in the chief's room, where he observes Gui-nam killing the head. He escapes, with Gui-nam pursuing him. In the rest of the world, subsequent to losing one partner and a lawmaker, So-ju and his leftover colleague Kim Woo-shin empties the public authorities' survivors and they board a helicopter. Gui-nam and Chung-san battle in the plagued school library. Chung-san hits Gui-nam's left eye and tosses him into the crowd prior to getting away. As Gui-nam is gobbled up, he promises vengeance against Chung-san. Jun-young and On-jo recovered a flying robot from the science lab, which they used to find Chung-san. They send the robot outside the school and are distressed to see the annihilation. In the interim, the bathroom survivors, Jun-sung, Mi-jin, Min-jae, and Hari, enter the school's nursery, prior to heading for the bows and arrows preparing Focus to utilize a crisis telephone to call for help. In the rest of the world, while they are attempting to arrive at Hyosun High, Jake and Ho-chul look for shelter in a seared chicken eatery, where they find a Hyosun High understudy, Park Hee-soo, contaminated and restricted at the entryway, with her solid infant securely put on a seat away from her. Jake salvages the child. At the same time, Soju and his gathering arrive at a tactical quarantine zone. Guinam is nibbled yet is in a half-zombified state and looks for vengeance against Chung-san. The understudies utilize the telecom framework to illuminate Chung-san that they are coming for him. They use music to divert the zombies while they're leaving the room. Guinam hears the transmission, so he follows the gathering. Guinam experiences Soo-hyuk, who won't surrender Chung-san, so Guinam assaults him. Namura helps Soo-hyuk, however she is chopped by Guinam. Namura and Soo-hyuk pushed Guinam through a window before they conceal in a room. Namura doesn't quickly change. Chung-san, who prior saw Guinam being nibbled, contends for her to be killed in spite of Soo-hyuk's demand that Guinam was not a zombie when he chomped Namura. Namura stays by a window, prepared to hop in the event that she turns. Soo-hyuk stays close by. Namura steadily enters a half-zombified state and has a desire to chomp Soo-hyuk, yet recaptures control of herself. Obscure to them, inside the nearby PTA room, Na-yeon is alive. The bathroom survivors battle out and enter the arrow-based weaponry preparing focus, yet Jun-sung is injured. At the chicken cafe, Jake and Ho-chul save a little kid named Say Receptacle. Enrolling the assistance of Woo-shin and Yoon-hee, Soju figures out how to get away from the quarantine zone and heads for the school. Namura displays elevated feelings of hearing, vision, smell, and strength, as she jumps further into a half-zombified state. As the gathering's arrangement to get away, they close one entryway of the room while another is left open, and an enormous hindrance is made in the room. Zombies are drawn to commotions made, clearing the hallway and empowering the survivors to escape the entire way to the roof, yet the housetop entryway was locked by Kim Chul-soo, a school pariah who was at that point on the roof when the flare-up started. As the zombies follow the understudies on the flight of stairs prompting the housetop, Soo-hyuk and Chung-san fend them off. Chung-san ends up close and personal with Guinam, who seems unaffected by the fall prior on. In the rest of the world, Soju arms himself with a shotgun from the police headquarters ordnance and forges ahead with his way to Hyozen High to save his girl. Jake, Ho-chul, Say Canister, and the child, effectively get away from the plagued roads on a cruiser. Jake recognizes a survivor on a roof, a live decoration nicknamed Orange Gibberish, and attempts to save him. Ho-chul, notwithstanding, forsakes him and drives away with the kids on the cruiser due to the zombies. After Namura tosses Guinam down the steps, the entryway at last opens. Be that as it may, they are past the point of no return as a tactical helicopter has left with Chul-soo. The understudies make a SOS trouble sign on the off chance that another helicopter shows up. In the rest of the world, Ho-chul and the two kids return to the kindergarten with a transport. Both Jake and Orange Gibberish hop onto the highest point of the transport as it drives off. They clear their path through Hyozen and get Min Yoon-ji, an apparently uninfected Hyozen High understudy, likewise a pariah and casualty of Guinam's harassing. Obscure to them, Yoon-ji is likewise in a half-zombified state. They are before long gotten by the military. At the school, during the evening, the two different survivor bunches security independently. For the bathroom survivors, Hari shows Mijin toxophilism. The housetop survivors accumulate around a pit fire and discuss their pasts. Na-yeon chooses to bring the housetop survivors some food from the PTA in the wake of atoning on her missteps. Notwithstanding, Guinam nibbles Na-yeon after seeing her, and he ambushes the housetop survivors. Guinam arrives at the roof and goes after Chung-san before Namura throws Guinam off the rooftop. After Jake's gathering are taken to the quarantine camp, Jake uncovers during the cross-examination about Byung-chan's PC. The tactical in this manner send a helicopter to Hyozen High, where the soldiers effectively takes the PC from the school and is going to empty the enduring understudies. Nonetheless, they get last-minute compulsory orders to regard any survivors as asymptomatic and leave them, because of a synchronous on-camp occurrence where Yoon-ji out of nowhere turned forceful and bit Chul-soo. The warriors hesitantly abandon the roof survivors, much to their shared misery. The fighters and researchers study both Yoon-ji and Staff Sergeant Lee Jae-jun, a completely zombified officer, and chooses to additional quarantine the cleared Hyozen survivors. At Hyozen High, it starts to rain and roar, which hinders the zombies' hearing and vision. Both the housetop survivors and the bathroom survivors notice the zombies' shortcoming and hence, the two gatherings endeavor to utilize it to get away. The roof survivors break and arrive at the ground floor first and enter the parking garage. Chung-san is stunned to see his mom, who is currently a zombie, remaining before him behind a truck. Chung-san's cries draw in the consideration of the close-by zombies, and the roof survivors escape. Hyo Ryeung tumbles down while running, and Jimin abandons her. Jimin gets lost and is killed in the school's football field. In the interim, Hyo Ryeung is saved by Woojin. Hari, with her sidekicks, reunites with her sibling and they got together with the others at the amphitheater. Upon section in any case, Namra, because of her half-zombified condition, rapidly identifies an enormous zombie crowd. During the assault, Min-jae escapes outside while Jun-sung penances himself to purchase the others time to conceal inside the athletic gear room. The following day, the survivors figure out how to utilize the athletic gear and metal trucks to shape a versatile blockade to encircle themselves while advancing out of the hall. As they complete the arrangement, the zombie crowd assaults them and Junyoung becomes contaminated. Similarly, as the zombies are going to overpower the blockade, the entryway abruptly opens and Onjo sees her dad, who has at last arrived at the school. In the meantime, the military and researchers dissect the information in Byung-chan's PC, and after the specialists foresee that the zombie scourge could jeopardize all of South Korea, the military chooses to bomb Hyosan. The survivors escape with Soju, and they experience as zombies in the tennis court. Utilizing the flares and whistle, Soju diverts the zombies. The understudies can escape court, yet Soju is nibbled and he passes on safeguarding his little girl. The survivors later arrive at the school's building site and remain on its gallery. Guinam experiences Min-jae at the toxophilism preparing focus and savagely goes after him. Subsequent to getting the most recent area of the gathering, Guinam kills Min-jae and goes on his way. In the meantime, the tactical use robots to draw in the zombies and Hyosan to their chose bombarding areas, including Hyosan High. The understudies get ready to escape, yet Guinam unexpectedly shows up and chomps Chung-san. Chung-san drives him over the structure. Seeing that he planned to turn, Chung-san kisses and embraces Onjo before he enters the structure to divert the zombies, permitting the rest to escape from the building site securely. While Chung-san gets into a last deadlock with Guinam, the tactical bombs the assigned areas, clearing out the zombies. Chung-san and Guinam both fell into a deep opening because of the effect of the blast. Out of disappointment for telling the besieging, the tactical commandant, Jin Seon-mu, ends it all. After the understudies escape, they arrive at a neglected area. Namra detects a few zombies. The understudies endeavor to get away from the area, yet Dae-soo's leg is harmed, driving them to remain and ward off the zombies. Charmjin is nibbled while saving his sister, bringing about Namra killing him. During the break, Namra progressively wants to eat her companions, with voices in her mind advising her to do as such, and she nearly chomps Onjo. Driven by regret and to not hurt her companions, Namra leaves the gathering and vanishes in the area. The leftover 6 understudy survivors, Soo-hyuk, Onjo, Dae-soo, Hyo Ryung, Mi-jin and Hari, arrive at a neglected railroad, where the military at long last safeguards them. After 4 months, the public authority closes the military regulation in Hyosan, however keeps on isolating the occupants. The 6 Hyosan High understudies slip away at the camp and return to the remainders of their school. Namra, who looks well and sound regardless of staying as a half-zombie, gets together with them. Namra says there are a couple of others like her who got away from the school and she will be back, and bounces from the roof, leaving the others gazing after her. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.